Can you tell my voice is a bit raspy?
No. Anyways, we're live.
We're early, so nobody's gonna be on yet.
It's literally the exact time that we start at. Hello and welcome to week one, the fantasy football pre-show. I'm Ben here with Matt, whose camera is absolutely terrible as of right now. I don't know why. It was fine when we were testing this earlier. Looks like better, worse, better.
It's the same to me.
Know. Yeah, you look like you are a blur. Someone might confuse you for Drew Carey again. Anyways, we're here to talk fantasy football week one. We are going to go over who's in, who's out, what the weather looks like. We're going to go over some of the rankings discrepancies that we have, go over some of our preseason rankings for players, and if there's time, we're going to play the Sunday Showdown, the fastest growing fantasy football game ever.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, let's start it off with the weather. Matt, what do you got for us?
Well, it is September, so we don't have too many concerns, but there is some rain in Jacksonville for the Indianapolis-Jacksonville game. And some rain in Buffalo and New York Jets. They are saying that rain should go away by kickoff, but it's raining currently. So probably running the ball today there.
It says light rain, though. I mean, it was raining on Thursday, and that didn't really seem to be an issue for the quarterbacks.
Yeah, that was Pat Mahomes and Deshaun Watson versus Phillip Rivers and Gardner Minshew.
All right, so Marlon Mack game, even more so for our daily fantasy lineups.
Or Jonathan Taylor.
No, that's not going to happen yet. Did you see the thing where they said he's just there to spell him in the third quarter?
I don't believe that.
No, I don't believe that's why they drafted him. That's a bit of a stretch, but anyways. Okay, so let's talk about who's in. Sorry, what?
So they could spell him for the first few weeks with it.
Yeah, let's talk about who's in, who's out.
Big ones that are out. Came out yesterday. Miles Sanders is out. Kenny Golladay is officially out. Wasn't really expected to play after he got hurt on Wednesday, but yeah, he's out. I got David Montgomery's in and is expected to take a full workload on, which really surprises me. That's
surprising because I have Tariq Cohen ranked pretty high because I think that's just coach talk. I can't see that happening.
Yeah, I wouldn't risk that. N'Keal Harry's in, and surprisingly, it sounds like Mike Williams will play for the Chargers this afternoon.
Saw that as well. Again, that's another person you're going to want to fade here.
Oh, yeah.
Simply because I can't see him doing too much out there.
Another name to watch is Tevin Coleman. He is questionable. They don't know if he will play this afternoon.
So that's good for Mostert.
Yeah. He's got that sickle cell. I don't know what it's called, sickle cell something. And with the air quality in San Francisco, he may not be able to play.
True.
And they're thinking Mike Evans will be active today, but probably on a pitch count. I would not start him if I have him.
All right. Thanks for that. So we're going to jump right in here to our rankings fight. We're going to go over the rankings that Matt and I have where they're a bit different, and we put each other on the spot and ask them why we're so high on a player. First up on the board, Matt Ryan. You have him ranked 5th. Mr. Black has him 6th. I have him 11th. Are you not afraid of that Seattle defense with adding of Jamal Adams?
Not really. Atlanta's always a pass-first team. They're at home in the dome. They don't have the corners that are going to match up with Julio and Ridley. Added Hayden Hurst. Seattle lost to Davian Clowney.
I'm aware.
I'm not concerned about Seattle defense. I think that's going to be a high-scoring game.
Okay. I am a little bit worried, so that's why I've ranked him lower. He's still a start, but moving on. Dak Prescott, Matt, a guy you really like this week. You got him as high as 3. Why so high?
When do you have him?
I have him at 8, and Mr. Black has him at 7.
Dallas pass first offense, I bet, this year. Even with Zeke. Mike McCarthy offense. Ramsey it's okay. I mean, they've got some talent, but again, I think Dak's going to probably have about three 3 touchdowns, 250 to 300 yards. I think he's just a very safe play. I think Dak's super safe every week, though.
Okay, but you don't feel that way about Drew Brees, apparently, who you have ranked 9th compared to 4 and 5 for myself and Mr. Black. So why are you loving Dak so much more than Drew Brees? You don't think that's going to be a high-scoring game?
I guess it will be. I think Kamara's a bit of a factor. I mean, Zeke will be too, but I just think that Dak's going to have a better day than Brees. I don't have a big reason for that difference, but
do the comments that Drew Brees made over the offseason factor into your rankings whatsoever?
Which were?
I'm not going to go into them.
All right.
It was a joke. Anyways, moving on, Cam Newton. You got him a little bit lower than we do. We have him as a borderline start at 13 and 14, but you got him way down at 19 against Miami. What do you think the Patriots are going to do in this game?
I want to see what they do.
Okay, so this is more of a show me and then I'll rank you higher?
Yeah. Which I didn't mind Cam going into the season, and I think he'll be okay, but last time we saw Cam, I could throw better than him.
Wow. All right.
It's true.
All right, so we're going to move on to Joe Mixon here, that I have ranked as high as 4th. You guys have him 9th and 10. I just think that the Chargers are a bad team. I haven't watched all of Hard Knocks, but I don't think they lost one of their best players on defense in Derwin James, so that's going to take an effect. I see they have like good pass rushers, but who they have at linebacker that's going to stop this guy? And it's the Joe Burrow's first game, so they're going to rely heavily on the run. So I love Joe Mixon this week.
I also think that's why Chargers are going to stack the box on him.
That's a good point as well. Either way, he's the must start. You're not sitting him if you drafted him. This isn't really a week where you try to get cute and be like, oh, I'm going to play the Kerryon Johnson matchup, player we'll talk about in a bit, over Joe Mixon because you think that he's going to get more touches. James Conner, you guys have him 15th. I have him 24th. I just don't buy him. Like I don't buy he's going to get a full workload. It's just
he produces when he's not hurt. He's not hurt.
They're not going to let him get hurt. They're going to limit his touches. I don't see this guy I think he's in the Miles Sanders type of role. Not as good as Miles Sanders, but he's going to get the Miles Sanders workload that where they just kind of limit his touches every week, and they use the other backs. They have like 14 other backs. They drafted McFarland. They got Snell, who can spell them, and they have Jalen Samuels if they wish to use him as well. But I just don't see them being like, let's just give him the ball and go. Because they know what happens when they do that. He gets hurt, and then the team is worse next week. So they're going to switch it up this year. I don't see him being a top 20 guy. I mean, top 25 probably, but I have him 24th this week. So,
yeah, New York's defense isn't very good either. That should be probably a blowout tomorrow, to be honest.
But didn't they just add fantastic tackler Blake Martinez?
Yeah, he'll tackle him 5 yards down the 5 yards down the field every time.
And then he'll tackle Benny Snell on the next play because they'll be platooning. Raheem Mostert's a guy that I have basically swapped. You guys have Connor at 15, and I'm at 24. I have Mostert at around 15, and you guys have Mostert around 24. So why are you down on Mostert? Well, with the Tevin Coleman news, do you think that he goes up higher? Would you rather have him or James Conner now?
I would put Coleman, or if Coleman's out, I would definitely put Mostert higher than I have him.
If Coleman is in, you still sticking by Connor being higher by like 10 spots?
Yeah. I don't trust Mostert. What you say about Connor, I say about Mostert. I'm going to close this blind here.
Fair enough. We're going to move on to Tariq Cohen, who I have ranked 22nd, and you guys have him way down at 39-31. Matt broke the news that, yes, Montgomery is going to play, and they expect him to get a full workload, but that's coach speak from Nagy. I don't see there's any way that he's going to get a full workload.
No, I would be surprised if he does too. I just don't buy Tariq Cohen on a full workload either. They're going to use Patterson and.
But talking PPR here, you don't think that he's going to have more plays designed for him because they're going to have little to no run game. So they're going to use him as kind of like the runner with passing, like New England has done for many years with their slot receivers and running backs and so on. So I like Tariq Cohen. I like him more than James Conner in PPR.
That is crazy.
That is correct. Feel like that's our first bet of the day.
All right.
Cohen versus Conner. Put it on
Don't
the
get
board.
injured, James.
You in?
Yeah. Straight up, Cohen versus Connor.
PPR.
Yeah.
All right. It's on the board.
Good luck to you.
Good luck to you and your 6 touches.
Thank you.
16 at most. All right, let's talk about Jordan Howard, your man crush, apparently, who you have all the way up at 30 in the flex range, while Mr. Black and I are about 40 on this guy. What do you like about this Jordan Howard in Miami against the New England defense that was absolutely amazing last year? What do you think he's going to find running room today?
Well, he is number 30. It's not like I have him super high.
But, I mean, you still have him thinking he's a flex candidate here.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to get volume. I mean, I can't see him getting probably fewer than like 15 touches, I bet.
You don't think they're going to be down by like 30 points very early on?
No, I don't think New England's offense is what they were.
So you think that New England's going to do what with the ball if their offense is bad? Try to hold it and run as much as possible?
Yeah, well, I think they're going to be average offense. Their defense is a little bit worse too. They lost some key players. I think they're going to win the game, obviously, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Howard has like 70 yards and a touchdown.
And a touchdown. You think the Dolphins are going to score today? Bold call.
I do think they're going to score.
All right.
We're going to. Devontae Parker is the only player to have more than 100 yards last year, being covered by Stephon Gilmore.
Yeah, I saw their little Twitter feud about that, actually.
Weird.
So I think that's revenge time, because who do you think is the better player, Gilmore or Parker?
Oh, clearly Parker.
Clearly Gilmore is the better player by far, and you would take him 9 times out of 10. He's going to destroy him, and now you just added fuel to that fire.
I also ranked Devontae Parker pretty low because
Parker would be like a ballsy sit, like, because if you think that he's going to get Stephon Gilmore all day,
well,
you're going to end up doing 3 for 40.
Miami doesn't have anybody else. Why wouldn't you do that?
They got Preston Williams, who you don't like, and we'll talk about that in a bit. Mike Gesicki, and they got Jordan Howard, who you absolutely love. Anyways, moving on to Juju in Pittsburgh, who I'm not a fan of. I have him all the way down as 18, but you guys like him as a top 10 guy this week. Why?
He's playing the Giants. Their defense is bad.
But you don't think that this ball's going to get spread around a lot more this year? Like, I get Juju's the number 1 guy, but you like how you got James Conner and Juju so high? You think it's just going to be a blowout, a high-scoring blowout? I
do. I think they're going to put up probably like 30-something points.
Final score, what is it going to be?
We'll go 33 to 17.
Yeah, if you're going to say a low-scoring game, it's going to ask us time to set Barkley.
No.
So 33-17 is your pick for that game. So you like Juju as a top 10 guy. I can't see it. I don't think I'll ever have him as a top 10 guy this year, to be honest with you.
Volume too. I don't like they've got Deontay Johnson,
James Washington, Eric Ebron, Vance McDonald.
I don't like Washington. Ebron, sure, but I think Juju gets 10.
Chase Claypool?
Sorry?
Chase Claypool?
Yeah. 10 targets easy for Juju.
That's fair. I just don't see that. I'm starting him, but I just don't see him as a top 10 play. Let's talk about AJ Brown. I have him down at 22. You guys have him at 12 and 13. So, I mean, he's a start for me, but I'm very skeptical about a guy who breaks out the way he did in year 1, especially like from the midway part of the season on. Now you get a whole off season for people to look at film of him. And Denver's defense, I know they lost Chris Harris, but they still have a decent defense. So I know they're going to be keying on him. We both like Corey Davis this year as kind of a sleeper pick because he has the talent. And with defenses queuing on AJ Brown now, it's going to leave him more open. So I just don't buy him being that good of a play this week at Denver, first game of the year. And I mean, Tannehill played out of his mind last year. No one's expecting him to repeat that. So that's why I'm a little bit down on AJ Brown.
Yeah, but like you said, they lost their top corner. He'll get Yeah, and they're gonna be force feeding it to him. I think like they're gonna have Derrick Henry, obviously, but
Derrick Henry doesn't usually come out of the gates like he is in November and December, right? Like he builds up to that. He's still good. There's no question about that. But let's move on. Terry McLaurin. There's somebody I have as close to a top 10 pick because I don't think the Philly, corners are too much to worry about.
big play Slay.
All right, they did add him, so that could be a shutdown role for them. Well, I guess we'll see how that works out. But yeah, that's a very good play.
I think Washington, another team with nobody else to throw the ball to. I mean, Antonio Gibson maybe, but that's a running back, obviously. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you have Slay shadow McLaurin?
Yeah, it makes sense. There's nobody else on that team, so it could be a data phase out McLaurin. Chad Coleman asking, did we miss the Giants talk yet? Well, Matt was just absolutely shitting on them, saying they're going to lose by about 40. He said Saquon Barkley will probably have 4 yards at most. I might be exaggerating a little bit. I think he said 33-17. But Giants lose. Another question. How do we feel about Jordan Reed today with all the Niners pass catchers going down, his previous success with Shanahan? No,
not for me.
Rich Kittle might be the most played play in daily fantasy football. Give me like 90% owned going up against that Arizona. We can't stop any tight end and nobody else there for San Francisco. I don't think it's Jordan Reed time. I think they're just going to run the ball more and keep it out of Kyler's hands and that offense as much as possible. I think that's the game plan. I don't see the second tight end on the 49ers playing. You'd have to be in a really deep league to even consider a Jordan Reed play. Matt?
I did actually have Kittle in my DFS for a while, and I end up not being able to keep him in. Just I wanted other guys, but he's gonna.
I almost put him in the flex, but then I went with Godwin because I was like, I think Godwin will do better.
Yeah, I didn't have enough money for that, but no, I wouldn't trust Jordan Reed first week in a new offense. No preseason or anything. Plus, too many issues with Jordan Reed. I don't trust that. You'd have to be really desperate to play him. Like guys like, I don't know, Herndon must not be available, like Jonnu Smith, those kind of guys.
All right, moving on to Michael Gallup, Dallas wide receiver, who I've ranked 38th against the Rams. You guys have him inside the top 30. I think I'm just a non-believer in Michael Gallup. Like, I mean, he had a season last year, but at no point were we ever excited about Michael Gallup being a guy that you want to put in your lineup week in and week out. And he finished with 1,000 yards. Congrats. He did it in such a slow, methodical fashion that he never had a big. He had some games, but he never had too many big games where you're like, man, this is a guy you have to play. And now they add CeeDee Lamb, a lot of hype with Blake Jarwin, which is just get out of here. I just don't see Michael Gallup being somebody who I'm interested in my third wide receiver spot or in a PPR flex position.
I don't think CeeDee is a huge factor early on. I just don't like most of the rookies coming out of the gate here, unless of course you're Clyde Edwards-Helaire. But Gallup's just consistent. I think Dak's gonna have a pretty good day, so he's got to throw the ball to somebody. And they're gonna have probably Ramsey, Shadow, Cooper, I'm thinking.
Could. Sterling Shepard, who I absolutely love against the Jets. I have him as high as 28.
Sterling Shepard against the Steelers?
Yeah, sorry. Against the Steelers, I still think that's a good start. But we're going to get to a question here from Chad Coleman. Evan's game time decision is really screwing me. Other options, Hunt, CeeDee, Slayton. What's the scoring? Because if it's PPR, I would be happy with Hunt. I feel like the Browns are going to be chasing points that game and will be passing, and you'll probably see more Hunt in the second half of the game than Chubb as he catches passes. I don't think CeeDee, as we mentioned, is an option. Slayton, they're going to be throwing if you're looking for garbage time, but I don't. So there's his answer, 0.5 PPR. What time does everybody play at? I don't have the schedule up. Are these all 1 p.m. games?
Tampa is late. Giants are tomorrow. Dallas is Sunday night, and Cleveland is at noon or 1, depending on your time zone. I would go Hunt, Slayton, CeeDee in that order.
Yeah, but would you wait for the game time decision, or are you comfortable enough to go with Hunt?
I said off the top I wouldn't play Evans. I think he's either decoy or he plays like 10 snaps or
He's
something.
going to be on a snap count. So, yeah, I go with Hunt, and then obviously Slayton afterwards. But I go Hunt since it's 0.5 PPR.
Yeah.
Back to Sterling Shepard, who I have in the top 30 this week, while you have him almost 40, and Mr. Black has him close to 50. Again, like you said, they're going to be chasing points, so that's a lot of throwing. A lot of catches late for PPR. Sterling Shepard is one of those guys who is never healthy. But week 1, watch out. We saw it with Sammy Watkins, and we had talked about this, right? Like Deshaun Jackson, Sammy Watkins, guys that always have nagging injuries, come week 4. In week 1, when they haven't been hit yet, or at least hit much, and they're ready to go, they go out and just have a day.
Yeah, there's just too many people there for me to say Shepard's going to have a huge day. There's Ingram, Slayton, Tate, Shepard, Barkley.
Dion Lewis.
Too many mouths to feed. Pittsburgh D is really good too.
Okay, we're going to move on to a new segment here.
Some Giants talk
about what?
Some Giants talk for Chad.
No. We're going to talk about some interesting players today and what to do with them because of their situations. Number 1, Kerryon Johnson. Matt, what are your thoughts on Kerryon Johnson?
Just kind of out of the blue for me. Kerryon is a borderline flex for me. I think he'll get some volume today. I don't really trust what they're going to do with Swift. Swift missed a lot of camp, even though he's playing today. I just can't see him getting a ton of usage today. And with Holiday out, like it's going to be Kerryon, Jones, and maybe Hawkinson.
Yeah, I quite like Kerryon. Actually, just going with the rankings here, we both have him at 25, but Mr. Black has him at 45. I think it's a good play. I think Adrian Peterson coming in is like they're not going to force him into the lead role. They're quite content with Kerryon Johnson in the lead role, but he's going to be there to kind of to spell him and to take some time off.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I said it like for flex.
Thanks, Chad. I quite like Kerryon Johnson. I think he's a good flex play, especially in a standard league. In a standard league, he's even better because I don't see him, catching too many passes. That's not really the way that offense works that often. But I think in a standard league, he's a pretty good flex as your third running back in that spot. So let's talk about Leonard Fournette. This is somebody that you have about 10 spots higher than me this week. What do you think his role is going to be today?
And I thought I had him low.
You have him 27th.
Yeah. I mean, they say he's going to have a solid role.
Coach Who said that? Did Bruce say that or somebody else said that?
Arian said it.
But he said Ronald Jones is still the guy. Which one is it, Bruce?
Again, I still thought that number was pretty low for Fournette. He's a lot of people's was drafted as a high-end running back. Obviously, the situation changed. I think that's going to be a bit of a high-scoring game, so they're going to find a way to use him, and I think he's just a lot better than Ronald Jones, so I think that's even going to show itself as early as today.
I agree with that sentiment that he is a lot better than Ronald Jones, but I don't think he's been on the team long enough for him to have a big role this week. I think this is kind of like the Ronald Jones week where he's going to get a chance to prove how good he is, but after that, it's going to be Leonard Fournette kind of taking over. New question here. PPR, pick 2 players, Mark Ingram, Raheem Mostert, DJ Chark. By the way, D.D. Westbrook is out for the Jaguars, so another 2 targets maybe for DJ Chark?
I would say Chark for sure.
You think Chark for sure?
Yeah.
I think it's Ingram for sure.
I wish I knew what was happening with Tevin Coleman.
Yeah, Tevin Coleman's the wild card here.
I'd lean Chark and Ingram right now. That could change to Mostert. But you need to make your decision on Ingram ahead of that.
Yeah, so Chark and Ingram is the decision because you don't know what's going to happen with Mostert, with Tevin Coleman and his sickle cell. If he doesn't play, then yeah, you would have been correct to play Mostert ahead of any of those guys. But you don't know if he's going to play. We don't know what the air quality is. We're not scientists on that, and we don't really know how it's going to affect him. I guess he's going to try it, right, to see what it's like and see if he can go. But I go Ingram Chark. You agree?
Yeah, I would agree. But I think, again, if he decides to wait on Coleman, then Mostert could easily be very good too.
Yeah, but he doesn't have that luxury because that's a later game.
It is.
Oh, so Chad's been doing a little drinking this morning, and he says, Hunt's not an option. Keep on forgetting I don't have a flex spot in this league. Need to choose 2 of 4. Evans, oh my God. I'm going to go throw up. Evans, Slayton, CD, Ruggs.
Slayton for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I'd go Evans. I'm taking Evans over those two, even on a snap count. Does CD play at 4?
I would almost go Ruggs.
I would not. Wish I knew what time games were at. Yeah, so Cowboys don't play till tonight.
Yeah.
So you get
Raiders
that.
are early.
Raiders are early. So I would say you go with Evans and Slayton. And if Evans doesn't go, then you have to put in CeeDee Lamb. That's my call.
But, I mean, I think we know that Evans is going to be active. It's just, is he going to go out there and just be – I think he's just got decoy written all over him. And how much work does he have in with Brady? Like, who knows? With no preseason or anything, you don't know how long this hamstring's been an issue for him either.
I say Evans and Slayton, but you're leaning Ruggs. Do you like Ruggs that much more than CeeDee?
No, I don't like either, but how much more do I like Ruggs than CeeDee is a good question.
Well, let's figure that out. For the first time today, we'll bring in the screen.
But I still don't think that won't change my answer. I wouldn't play Evans anyway. That could really blow up in my face, though.
So we'll just scroll down, check out the rankings here at BlueDuckFantasy.com. Check out the site, check out the rankings, and we'll sort them by Matt's rankings, and we'll see how much he likes these players.
55
Hopefully
and 65.
they made the list. Pardon me?
55 and 65.
Henry Ruggs, 55, CeeDee Lamb. So, yeah, a 10-spot difference, not players. But look at where Mike Evans is. Look at that.
56.
56. So he says start Ruggs over Evans. I don't. I still have Evans about 32.
Well, I mean, yeah, Evans if you need it, I guess. If you need a
All
good
right.
game.
Decisions made. I say Evans. Matt says Ruggs. Bet number 2. Let's say Tevin Coleman doesn't play and I put in Raheem Mostert. Who would you put in the flex, Mark Ingram or DJ Chark? That's close. How high do I have Chark? I have Chark at like 16. I doubt that I have. Did we get the scoring on that? That's PPR. Yeah, he phrased his question very well. Just checking out the running back rankings here.
I think it's close, but I would go Chark. If you need more of a guaranteed floor, you go Ingram. But if you don't need that, then I would go Chark.
That's the correct assumption here. Because Ingram's going to be the safer play, but with the lower ceiling, and DJ Chark going to be the riskier play with the higher ceiling. It's week 1. It's tough to know how good your team is and what you're going to do. I'd probably go safe and just put in Ingram. Renfro, Bourne, or Moss, half PPR. I'm assuming that's Zach Moss.
Yeah, or
that's a really risky play because who knows what he's going to get today, in terms of volume.
Yeah,
Kendrick Bourne.
There's nobody in San Fran.
There's not some good choices.
No.
Because you go Moss, you might get shut out. Renfro, who knows what his role is going to be with the new guys. Renfro's probably the safest of the 3. Who knows anything about Kendrick Bourne? Kendrick Bourne could go off and have a 3-touchdown game. I'd go with Hunter Renfro. I think it's the safest play. And but Zach Moss would be the riskiest play here. And I do like Zach Moss. There's been talk about how he's going to be better this week against the Jets. Did I get that one right that time? Yeah, they're saying he might be a better because he's the in-between the tackles runner. But you can't really believe coach speak. Week 1's a lot of uncertainty.
Especially if he's into
put in Renfro. We are back, Dr. Clutch.
Welcome back.
And somebody likes the Eagles, apparently. All right, back to the interesting players. I just need to find it. Give me a second. I was setting my lineups because I said, okay. So yeah, we talked about Kerryon Johnson. DeAndre Swift, if he plays today, what's his role? By the way, your camera's a lot better now.
I didn't change a thing.
Yeah, I know. It's just your connection. DeAndre Swift, if he plays, what's his role? Third down back at best?
Yeah, today for sure. That'll definitely change as the season goes, and especially after Kerryon gets hurt. This week I wouldn't put Swift in until we see it. Someone asked me that this week, and I said, yeah, play somebody else instead of Swift.
What about T.Y. Hilton? How do you feel about T.Y. Hilton?
I think he's pretty solid.
Even with the rain?
Well, it's light rain. I have him the highest of all of us, actually. I'm
aware.
Yeah, good.
I'm not a big fan of T.Y. Hilton this year. I think he's a player to avoid. I think there's too many mouths to feed there, and he's not on any of my teams, but I know you do like him. Question for you from there you go. That's how bad your feed was.
Yeah.
Chad didn't even recognize you. He just thought that you were a puppet or Drew Carey. Who would you start at quarterback in a 2-quarterback league? Tyrod Taylor, Kirk Cousins, or Ryan Tannehill? Pick one. Unless you think any of them are better than Brady.
Leaning Cousins right now.
All right. Tyrod is in.
Yeah. Cousins was awful against the Packers last year, though.
Last, Mike Evans, who we've talked about enough today, but Matt thinks he's going to be a decoy. I think he's just going to be on a pitch count, so like temper expectations. I still think he's going to get some catches, but he's not anywhere near the top 10 type of player he is. He's more of a flex at this point, or your third wide receiver if you need it, or if you drafted poorly like this man, he is possibly your second wide receiver. We got another question. Herndon, Fant, or Jonu full PPR? Sorry, Jonu. That's going to be Fant for me. That's pretty easy.
Yeah, Fant.
I got to see it from Herndon. I mean, he teased us all year with playing, and he never ended up playing. So it's going to be Fant for me.
Yeah,
easy.
Fant. And then I'd probably play Herndon before Jonu. But
yeah, I mean, 3 tight ends on a team. Sorry, I'm just setting my lineup here. So, Matt, I'll get you to talk about Marlon Mack this week, who was in our DFS lineups.
Yeah, he's in there because he was relatively cheap, I thought. Early on in the season, I think he's going to be by far the lead back. I don't think Jonathan Taylor's going to come in and be the savior right away. Obviously, it could be changed about 2 or 3 weeks down the line for sure. I think Taylor's still going to be okay. Jacksonville's run defense was terrible last year. Marlon Mack is a pretty good play this week, I think. I don't think you're going to get many weeks out of him, though. You disagree. I know.
I think we're getting a lot of weeks out of him. I think anybody running behind that line is going to look good. So it's going to be hard for somebody to look that much better than somebody who looks good. It's like picking your favorite supermodel. Even though you have one that's better than the other ones, they're all still great. Full PPR, Odell, or is that T.Y. Hilton? That's Odell for me.
It's got to be, yeah.
AJ Green or Stephon Diggs, and Darren Waller or Hunter Henry full PPR.
Diggs.
Give me Diggs.
Diggs and Waller for me.
Yeah, I think Waller is just nice tight ends, though. Yeah, I'll agree with that. Diggs and Waller. So this is back to the question where he had the 3 tight ends. Makes sense if you're playing a dynasty league that you would have 3 tight ends, and you got 3 good ones. There are 3 young ones they're up and coming. So we do not trust Montgomery week 1. You should play Cohen. Matt, agree? Say it. Say you agree. Say it.
PPR.
Say it. Full PPR. Say it. Say Cohen is the man.
I'll agree with Cohen for week 1, just because I don't trust that Montgomery gets a full workload. We talked about that earlier. Even though they're saying he will, so we are aware that the coach said that they are going to do that, but I just can't see it. He's on the low end of his injury return too. Like they said, 2 to 4 weeks, and he got back in 2.
Yeah, I'm not seeing. I love Cohen. I mean, I wouldn't make this bet right here picking Cohen if I didn't love Cohen.
That's true.
And dislike Connor. All right, we're going to talk about some rankings for the year. Leonard Fournette, Matt, you have him at 22.
Yeah, I do.
See, you think he's just going to overtake Ronald Jones and they're going to toss Ronald Jones aside and just be like, welcome, Leonard Fournette. You are now the man.
I think he's definitely going to be the lead. That's going to be a good offense. He's going to have lots of opportunity there. He's not going to be – I dropped him like 10 spots from where when he was in Jacksonville.
Team out of nowhere, thanks. Have a good day.
Yeah, enjoy for Sunday.
Take me your Waller tight end premium. Again, that's going to be Waller.
I like the picture, though. But yes, Waller.
The mountain man. Akers, Dobbins, or James Robinson. Dr. Clutch, what is your scoring? But I don't think it matters. I think for me, it's going to be James Robinson.
Yeah, which is very strange to say. But yeah, I just don't know the roles of – actually, we don't really know the roles of any of the three, to be honest.
But Robbins is, to me, the one who has the most likely chance of being the lead guy with all the injuries around him. Leonard Fournette shipped out. Dobbins would be the last one on this list for me. I'd go Akers ahead of Robbins because I know Akers will have a role. I don't know if Dobbins will have a role this week.
Yeah, but Akers, you got Malcolm Brown and Darrell Henderson and a battle line. Standard, yeah, I'd go Robinson anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what the scoring is.
You asked, he told you.
How long does it usually take us to play the Sunday Showdown, Matt? I think we could do it in like 15 minutes, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm just going to pick some players to talk about here. Preston Williams, you mentioned earlier how much you enjoyed Devontae Parker and think he's a better player than Stephon Gilmore and would like to fight Stephon Gilmore, apparently. You have him 66 on the year versus 48 ranking from myself and Mr. Black. Why so low? Why 66? That seems quite low on a player that, to me, has fairly high floor, although not the highest ceiling because of the offense that he's in.
I don't know if that's a high floor play, honestly.
Well, I mean, I think he's going to be pretty solid to get. Let me explain this properly. He's going to be a part of the offense where there's no guarantee that a player like a Henry Ruggs is going to be part of the offense. Like Henry Ruggs could finish the season with 450 yards versus Preston Williams, is going to finish the season with like 700 to 800 yards at least.
I don't know. I think that's a little bit that's a very high ceiling for him. I think you're putting.
You said maybe on the floor, but all right. Let's move on to some other guy here.
Yeah.
Let's talk Adam Thielen.
Your favorite?
My least favorite. I am at 26 for the year. You have him at 17. Mr. Black at 13. What week do you think that his body fully breaks down and then he never plays another snap for the season? Week 3? 2? Or is it going to happen today? It's not happening. Like he's not making it to week 4.
I think he will. He'll get like halfway through the year.
Okay, so
he'll try to come back too early, like in week 12 or something, and be shut out, and that'll be it for him.
Okay, so we have another one coming in from Instagram here. Let me just read it as it pulls it up. Diggs, Green, or Boston Scott at flex and PPR?
It's between Diggs and Boston Scott.
It's going to be Diggs for me. I don't care about...
A lot of pundits like Boston Scott now. Like, I've been reading a lot on Twitter. Like, I just don't... I mean, yeah, he'll be good.
It's going to be somewhat of a committee. It doesn't matter who's running the ball.
And I just don't think they're going to need him to be like receiving back today either. It's going to be, I'd tell that guy Diggs.
This is Dr. Clutch's wide receiver core. Tyreek Hill, Cortland Sutton, Cooper Kupp, and Hollywood Brown in a standard league. Like Hill in a standard. Sutton as well, but likely going to have to go Hollywood Brown today.
Yeah, Hollywood's a good standard play. Kupp is more of a PPR guy. That's a good wide receiver core. I mean, yeah, Sutton unfortunately is hurt, but that's a good core. I assume that's got to be 10 late team.
10 team?
I can't see that being 12.
Why not?
Unless
Tyreek
he's got no
cups. Tyreek is what, late first, early second?
Yeah, I'd be second in it.
Sutton is the fourth or fifth. Kupp is around Sutton. Hollywood Brown isn't that high. Like he can go 1, 2, 3 running back. See, it's 12 team. Don't doubt Dr. Clutch. The man can draft. All right.
So, yeah, he's got a running back in round 1 probably. And, yeah, I guess, running back in probably round 3. And then Sutton probably 4. 5 maybe. A lot of people were down on Sutton going into this year, so he probably got him later than he should have. I found that in my drafts.
All right, Matt, it's time. It's time for the Sunday Showdown.
Ooh.
As the reigning, defending Sunday Showdown champion last year, after he went on a winning streak of like 6 weeks where I just couldn't get anything. You will get to pick if you go first or second today. I will show the screen, show everybody the rules. So we have A-list players, B-list players, and C-list players.
We need a quarterback.
What?
I can't read those.
This isn't about you, Matt. This is about the viewers.
Well, if I can't, I'm assuming they can't. I don't know.
That's fine.
Was it 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 flex?
2, 3, 1. Can you see it now? I mean, it's got to be big enough now, right?
Yeah, I can see it if I really look hard enough.
Dr. Clutch with a comment here. Rogers, Saquon, Akers. Yeah, don't like Akers as your second back. But at least you grabbed James Robinson, who I'm assuming you either grabbed really late or early off waivers to balance that out. Okay. So those are the players. You want me to run over the list, or can you actually read it?
I can figure it out. This is 0.5 though, right?
What?
0.5? Or is it full?
0.5 PPR, my favorite format.
Yeah, okay.
Did you want first pick, or would you like me to go first?
You can go first.
I will take Hayden Hurst from the B group, tight end, and put him on my team. Oh, I need that B.
Give me refresh my memory on how many players from each group. It's 2, 4, 2, right?
4-2. Robinson breakout? No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, the team's going to be bad, so running the ball is not going to be great, but he's going to be like around the flex position. If he's the guy, he's going to be around the flex position all year. I assume they use a lot of running backs and make it not the best situation, but for right now with, they put, I don't even want to try to say Devein's name, but yeah, I think this week is a good week for him.
I'm going to go with
in the rain.
Devontae Adams from A. And give me, what is going on here? Okay. Hey, that's better. And I'm going to gamble a bit, even though we've talked about how much we don't trust him today. I'm going to go Montgomery out of C.
I mean, he's a good C pick, right?
Yeah.
I didn't hear what your first one was.
Adams, wide receiver.
Wow. He went Devontae Adams over Michael Thomas, people.
Yeah. Even though I've got Michael Thomas ranked higher.
That is a homer pick for the Green Bay Packers. All right. Looking here, I'm going to take myself a quarterback, Tyrod. And remember the rules here is whatever's left over at the end, we pick each other's flex, and it comes out of whatever pool is remaining with players. I think I'm going to go OBJ here. I don't really know why I'm going OBJ here.
You like OBJ. He's in your DFS.
Yeah. But, I mean, I don't know why I'm taking him now. Like, it's not like a player that I'm like, sorry, wrong spot. I have to have.
Okay.
Dr. Clutch is back. Well, with my receivers, I have that flex spot on lock. It's just finding out who my RB2 is. Hopefully, one of Dobbins or Akers shows out for their squad. I assume Dobbins to have a bigger role as the season goes on. I don't think Akers' role is going to get any bigger. I just don't think they're going to be a very good running team this year. Question for you, Matt, before we continue. Can you please trade me a wide receiver in our Yahoo League, as I am forced to start Mike Evans right now with Galladay being out as well as Debo being on IR, and I don't have much wide receiver depth.
I offered to trade you Devontae Parker.
Let's do it. Who do you want?
I don't know. Mike Evans.
No.
Off the top of my head, that's all I can think of on your team.
I was thinking Noah Fant. Yes? No?
I'm okay with Hurst and Hawk.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
Rude. It is your pick again, sir, who is not very nice and refusing to trade me a player to help me get a win.
You're welcome. Give me Cooper at a B.
Okay. First names are appreciated.
Amari.
Thought you meant Joe.
Oh. And give me.
Keep your questions coming in, guys. If you have them, we're happy to answer them. We just play this game to kind of eat up time at the end, and for Matt to feel like he wins at something because I let him win.
Give me. I know you're not going to take him, so we're going to skip that.
If Matt's smart, he would know he doesn't have to take a quarterback or a tight end for these picks.
Yeah, no, I'm just looking at some names here. That,
like I said, I always help him win. Just doing everything I can to help him out.
Give me Kamara.
Alvin Kamara. Now Matt's out of A picks.
Yeah. So if Ben's smart, he knows he does not have to take an A player.
I am smart now. I'll probably leave my flex for the A since I'm probably okay. Oh, there's Adam Thielen. God damn. I mean, this could be his 1 week before he dies.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Okay, so Zach Moss is interesting, but I don't think so. I definitely would much rather have Raheem Mostert. We got a question from Chad Coleman. Melvin Gordon or Kareem Hunt? That's going to be Melvin Gordon for me. Happy
I'm hesitant on Gordon, but I think for now you go with him. I just think that's going to be some sort of big split, though.
And here we have, I love my family all being Bears fans. Me and my brothers, my dad all getting ready to watch. Matt, I put this comment up because I know that you're a closet Lions fan, so I figured you'd get mad at that. I know you pretend to be a Packers fan, but you're really a closet Lions fan because you always have Lions players everywhere.
Just I actually rarely have Packer players, really.
Except when you pick Devontae Adams over Michael Thomas.
DA's going to have a good day.
So you're not going to pick Adam Thielen for me, right? For sure.
We'll see.
It's not nice. Okay, so let's see if there's a C player I want to make work here. And I mean, Tevin Coleman's no. Is this the burnout? Like, how good are the Miami corners? Did they spend a bunch of money on their safeties, or is that on corners?
Well, they traded Minkah Fitzpatrick, remember? It's last year.
Yeah, the safety. But didn't they spend a bunch of money on the offseason on some players? Like, didn't they get somebody from Dallas? I want to say Byron. Come on, Matt. You know this more than I do.
I can't think of it off the top of my head, but maybe somebody is watching knows.
Now I got to Google it. Yeah, Byron Jones.
There you go.
Former Cowboy, now with the Dolphins. Okay, I guess in the C pick, I can't leave a C pick. I'm good with any of the wide receivers here, so I need some running backs. Oh, I don't need to pick running backs because you have all your running backs. So I need a wide receiver. So I need a wide receiver from the B group. I can't leave you. This is tough. I'm gonna have to leave you one of these running backs to pick for me. Singletary, Gurley. I'm good with any of those. Who is the pick? Who is the pick? Who is the pick? Let's take Gurley. See what he can do.
Yeah, I don't mind that pick.
Even though I don't have to pick running backs right now, but we're running out of picks anyway. So I'm going to leave you to pick me somebody from the A group. And I will take, man. Oh, you know what? Djax is here. He's going to tear it up. It's week 1.
Alrighty. I will go with one of them is going to be Ian Thomas. I'll just pick him now. Tight end at a C. And
we did the C, so you're not going to leave me a C player.
No. You're going to pick a B, obviously.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's some not great options in B, but you never know. And let's go with I'll ride with TY.
Fair enough, Dr. Clutch.
Yeah.
T.Y. Hilton, a player I would never would have picked. That was the player you were talking about, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll get to pick my flex. So I need a running back and a wide receiver. I mean, this is going to be a shootout.
Yeah, I think Akers will get a little bit larger role this year, but because Malcolm Brown and Darrell Henderson aren't great, but that offensive line is bad. And then even Gurley couldn't do it last year with him, even though he got touchdowns.
I'll gamble on this guy over Renfro. Oh, I need a running back. Never mind. I don't like any of those running backs. I have to take a running back from here. I'll take the guy going up against the weaker defense.
Boston Scott, Chad.
That says Breda or Swift. Hashtag puke or Boston Scott.
Yeah, Boston Scott for sure.
Yeah, it's Boston Scott. Breda would be second to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's actually when I was saying that somebody asked me about Swift earlier this week, and I said the other guy, I think it was Breda.
All right, Matt, you need a quarterback and then pick my flex.
Okay, so I get a quarterback out of the B group, and let's go Kyler. And I get to pick your flex.
Christian Kirk or Jerry Jeudy? Very interesting question here.
I think Kirk.
I think Jeudy.
No, yeah,
you know, Kirk is safer, but you're going Jeudy?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think Sutton might be a decoy as well, right? So
if he plays, I'd be surprised if he plays.
There you go. He needs to do 10 jumping jacks or something in order to play. Most random thing I've ever heard.
Hashtag weirdo. Okay. I'm picking A.
You're picking A.
So it's either Drake or Thielen. It's going to be Thielen.
And I am picking a flex out of the B for you. And it's going to be, man, there's so many of these players that you just absolutely crapped on today. It was either between CD or a player you like in Leonard Fournette. So I'm going to be a player you don't like in CD Lamb.
I don't dislike him.
You hate him. You said that you wish that he was never drafted in the NFL and that everything he's ever said is just offensive to you.
I'm surprised CD was in B group, though.
I mean, the B group's pretty deep. Like, there's a lot of players there. You see the wide receivers in there. I think people are a little high on him. Without a preseason, they just think, like, he's the player we had in college, so he's going to be amazing.
Well, hopefully Dallas scores some points. They got Cooper and CD.
Could have had Gallup, too. He was there.
Yeah.
I won't have time to look at it, Dr. Clutch, because we got to do this. You'd have to send it like well before like the kickoff show begins. So, yeah, you'd have to send it days in advance. Or I could possibly get to it in the morning. But I can't look at it right now. Okay, Matt, go over the teams if you can read them.
Okay. Ben's got Tyrod Taylor,
the man,
Gurley, Chris Carson. How did you end up with 3 A players? I think you lied to me on there. I did not have to pick you Adam Thielen.
Oh, then pick me somebody out of the C. You're the one who went with somebody out of the A. I didn't tell you who to pick.
Yeah, I said I have to go A, right? And you said yes.
I was probably talking about something else. I think this is your mistake, and you should have to deal with it.
Let's give you. I'm not going to give you Coleman because in case he doesn't play. I'll give you Josh Kelly.
Wow, I never wanted Adam Thielen more than I do now. I really should have picked a wide receiver out of that group.
Yeah, those are okay guys there.
Yeah, and they're all interchangeable. I was planning on picking one. It's been a while since we played.
Yeah, me too.
We've been
Okay,
practicing
so
all off season. I know.
Tyrod. Hey, we're lucky we got the show today. Tyrod for Ben, Gurley, Carson, Odell Beckham, Deshaun Jackson, Michael Thomas.
Money man.
Pardon me?
Money man, week 1.
Oh, yeah. Hayden Hurst and Josh Kelly as a weird flex.
Could be the guy.
Yeah. And
I don't bite. I think he sucks.
Sorry?
I think he sucks.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Kyler for me, Alvin Kamara, David Montgomery as my running backs, Devontae Adams, Amari Cooper, T.Y. Hilton as wide receiver, Ian Thomas as tight end, and CeeDee Lamb as a weird flex as well.
Much better than Joshua Kelly, though. We got a question here from Ty Wilson. Mike Gesicki or Eric Ebron?
I am leaning Gesicki there.
I'm leaning Gesicki as well, but I want to see what the rankings say about this. And we're assuming this is PPR. If it's not PPR, feel free to mention anything. Even half PPR is fine. We'll take a look at the rankings here. These guys make it into our top 20. Eric Ebron, you have it.
I've got Gesicki 12 and Ebron 14.
Yeah, so it's Gesicki for both of us. Regardless of the scoring, it's not really going to change anything. It's going to be
not with those two.
Matt, any 2020 season predictions? Let's go with who your MVP pick for the season is. People want to know.
Yes, PPR, he says. So, yeah. Just
anytime, Ty. Thanks for stopping by.
Let's go with...
Your frozen look hilarious. I can't stop laughing. Oh, it stopped. I wish it would have stayed frozen forever.
I'll be really boring and go Pat Mahomes.
I will go Aaron Rodgers because I'm not boring like you.
Yeah, well, you didn't give me much time to think about that, so.
Well, now it's time for who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl?
I'd love to say the Packers, but I don't think that's realistic. Could happen. If Rodgers is MVP, then for sure they could do it. I'm
not sure what you want me to do here, Dr. Clutch. Like, that's your lineup? Like,
that's your roster.
Yeah. I like the Rieger pick. I don't know why you have a backup quarterback, though, especially with Rodgers. PPR, Tyler Boyd or OBJ? OBJ. Mark Prado, thanks for the question. It's going to be OBJ, though.
Nobody likes OBJ this year, it seems.
I love him.
Yeah. I could see maybe not today. But apparently he doesn't do well with Marlon Humphrey. But
all right, well, let's give him your thoughts on the lineup. I mean, you're weak at RB2. We talked about that during the show. Hale Cup. Oh, there's Sutton. He's on the bench. I like Dobbins as a late season thing. Judy's, you have Sutton, right? Yeah, Judy's kind of like the handcuff for that. Slayton's a high upside play. He's a better receiver in a standard league. I'm not sure why you're running 2 defenses either, man. You got to be dropping those defenses and quarterbacks and picking up some more high upside guys. You're not going to have to change out your defense or your quarterback ever. You're just wasting a roster spot. Matt, anything to add to that?
No, not really. I agree with that roster setup there. You don't want a backup defense or a quarterback, especially the backup quarterback. I can at least understand.
But not with Aaron Rodgers. You're always going to start Aaron Rodgers.
I don't know. I've got him like borderline starter this year, but if he's an MVP, you're not benching him. But I doubt you're going to play. I like Drew Lock, you know that, but
yeah, I mean, there's a lot to like about Drew Lock, but he's still not going to be a type of player who's a starter. Last question: Flex PPR, James White, John Brown, James White,
yeah,
James White,
running backs there.
We got it 1 minute in before. Apparently, there's a 3-minute delay as to when we see the question is when it's posted. So, just checking to see if there's any other questions on YouTube here because we are streaming this from the quacky StreamYard up there. But that's going to wrap it up. 1 minute to kickoff. Matt, what's the game everyone should watch today in the 1 o'clock set?
In the 1 o'clock? Oh,
yeah, the early game.
Tampa, New Orleans, but Packers, Vikings. I'm trying to think of the rest.
Don't forget our bet today.
Yeah. Everybody look at that bet and make sure Ben lives up to the defeat next week.
My computer says a different time on my phone. What time is it actually?
I've got 2 minutes to kick off.
Yeah, I need to fix my computer time because it says it's kickoff right now.
Yeah.
But anyways, 2 minutes to kick off. Check to see if we got any other comments.
2 minutes early.
Pardon me?
Remember I said you were starting 2 minutes early? That was it.
Oh. It did say, yeah, it said live on the screen, though, and I don't know what time that goes off of. But anyways, that's going to wrap it up for the show. Thank you for coming. We will be here again next week. Hopefully Matt isn't blurry for 30 minutes, and you can see him. Although I don't know what kind of quality we get on this on YouTube. Anyways, thanks for the questions. Thanks for stopping by. Dr. Clutch coming in with Saints D is just good, so I didn't drop them. Eagles D is just a filler for this week. Well, then you can drop them after this week and pick up somebody. But
yeah,
if you're going to be filling D week in and week out, so you don't really need to have a D. Like once you start dropping them because they have a bad matchup, just pick one up every week and just plug it in.
Yeah, I always stream D.
Stream D. You start off with a defense like the Eagles, where they have good matchups to start the season, and then you start streaming. Anyways, go Tariq Cohen.
Enjoy week 1, everyone.
That's it.